Next item, I saw that Mr. Lemunion is on. I don't know who's going to make the presentation, but I understand the city of Maize is going to give us a update on their region. So I will turn it over to Maize, whoever's going to present that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Thank you for this opportunity. And I'm going to start the presentation, but of course, Jolene wrote it, so if I flub it up, she can blame me. But first, I want to thank Chad for giving us the opportunity to give you a little presentation as to what's going on in our community up here, and we certainly appreciate that. And we'll try to be brief and in doing so. Chad asked us to touch on a few things such as population, housing, jobs, employment, and transportation projection improvements and things that are going on in our community. So basically our community at the current time is about 10 square miles. The projection is that we will grow to about 22 to 28 miles. Most all of our growth henceforth will be to the north, up to probably the river. And so it won't be encroaching on any other community within our particular region at all. And of course, that's a long-term thing, depending on development and how it proceeds. Currently, our population, we're guessing, is somewhere north of 5,000. I think that's very conservative because of the growth that we've had the last decade or two. But of course, if you add on our school students and our school staff and teachers, then that goes to about an additional 10,000 during a school day. Last year on our housing part, we had 102 housing unit permits that were issued. And over the last decade, we've averaged, and I didn't figure it all, but we've averaged over 50 single family homes per year. That doesn't count the new apartments that we have, or the duplexes or the triplexes. We currently have 9 active housing developments. They run all the way from duplex developments to $1 million homes and everywhere in between. So we have quite a diverse housing movement going on in the city of Maize. We have 2 additional housing units that will come on next month. Again, those are single family homes, and they will probably somewhere be in the neighborhood of $350,000 to $700,000 homes. Later this summer, we will have 3 additional housing units coming on. We'll have a total of 14 housing units. So by the time we're settled, we have over 1,300 new family units that are either under construction or are pending, based on how fast they can get them built. So we've been very fortunate. We've done a lot of planning up here. We have a very visionary council and mayor, and they're very supportive, and we've done a lot of planning and in-house things, so it's allowed for the growth. And of course, one of the largest draws we have up here is our school district, and we recognize that it's a quality movement that they have up there. So as we move forward, what we have found that of our residents, the 5,000 plus, or how many ever we have, about 95% of those residents commute daily to jobs either in Wichita or somewhere in the metropolitan area. And then when it comes to our school district, we have 7,800 student population within our 10 campus buildings. We have 10 campuses in the Maize School District, plus an additional 3 buildings for maintenance, transportation, and administration. And we're in the process of building 3 more. So that tells you that. The school district has grown about 9% in the past 5 years, and it's continuing to grow. The screen you have there is one of the new 5th and 6th grade campuses. There are 2 of those that's coming in. They will house about 1,000 students, plus staff and support personnel. The Maize School District, the students that are up here about 80% of our student population comes from the city of Wichita. The BOE employees, we have about 1,400 employees, teachers, staff, and support personnel that work for the district. They are the largest employer in the city of Maize, and they're also one of the top 20 employers in terms of numbers in the metropolitan area. The BOE employees live here in Maize, they live in Wichita, they live in Newton, Hutchinson, Valley Center, Cheney, Derby, Andover, Goddard, Park City, and many other surrounding communities. In our Maize Industrial Park, that's an area that is located north of 53rd to between 119th and 135th. We opened that industrial park in 2014. It is now full. You're looking at one of the plants up there, Kyoto Yushi. Kyoto Yushi provides, it's a Japanese plant. This is the first plant they've ever built out of Japan. It's a fully operational plant. It provides 70+% of all the grease for all the vehicles in North America. And their goal is to go to 100%. They are one of our international partners. Of the 10 ones up there, another one, we have Reffenhauser, and what they are, they're a German company. This is our Japanese partners here in the opening ceremony. And this is the German company, and this is also their first company, or their first operation outside of Germany. So we're very fortunate. There are several hundreds of employees in the 10 units that we have up there. Our goal now is to go to 135th Street West and north to K96. And we have been in discussions with the county, with Commissioner Dennis and with his staff, and we will probably partner with them in the future in terms of making some improvements on 135th Street, depending on demand, and we have to work out the time schedules. So we have a good feel for our industrial park. It's in a perfect location, has K&O Railroad, has 96 and access to the interstate, and very close to the airport. So it's a very, very solid thing. Some of the things that we're working on, as I indicated earlier, there are 3 major street repairs, or I'm sorry, upgrades that we're doing right now in conjunction with the new school campuses coming on board. One of the things that we have experienced in our community, and I'm sure other smaller communities have experienced the thing, all the population and all the growth has simply outgrown our transportation system. Our transportation, our roadway system was never designed to handle the thousands of cars and vehicles, school buses, and things of that nature that we need to. So we have to upgrade and to make the transportation safe and expedient. One of the things that we have just completed is the 119th Street improvement. It goes south of 45th Street and the 45th Street intersection, which is by the Maize High School and the Maize Academy, and will be next to one of the 5th and 6th grade complexes, as well as the new natatorium that has been upgraded to a fully signalized intersection with turn bays, and we've made 3-lane roadways as far as we could on 119th to date. We're now going to go west from 119th to 135th, and that will start probably next month. They have until the end of May to finish that project, so that we can go to the next project, which is Academy Street and 119th, and that will go north from 45th, basically a 3-lane road all the way up to 53rd, and that will be completed. The intersection, excuse me, the intersection itself will be completed this summer, and then we'll finish the roadway to 53rd in the fall. The next thing, I beg your pardon. The next thing we have is this summer we'll be doing a crosswalk on Maize Road and Academy Street. And this will fit into our Academy Street improvement project, which is going to take place in 2022. And this is a WAMPO funded project that you can see on your screen, the Academy Street. It will go from Maize Road to a little over half a mile to the west and tie into some of our projects that are going further to the west. So there's a lot of street activities going on. And of course, what we try to do is coordinate those major ones around the schools with the summer break. So it really puts a push on all of the construction people and takes a lot of coordination to get it done. But we've been very fortunate with our partners. The county have been great to work with. The city of Wichita staff are great to work with. All of our surrounding communities, fellow suburban communities are excellent to work with. We just, our school district couldn't be any better to work with. So it's just great when you have good partners. It makes things a lot easier. Everyone picks up the load and helps everyone else out. Some of the things that we've identified that we think needs to be considered for you in the future is the 53rd Street. That is going to be a regional project that certainly needs to be considered in the future. 53rd Street is going to be one of those main arterials, literally going across the county on both sides. And so I think the 53rd Street, both to the east of our industrial park and back to the west, is something that will have to be upgraded in the years to come for too long. I spoke briefly of 135th Street north of 53rd to 96 Highway. Again, we've been in discussions with the county on that, and we're working on it. And of course, the northwest bypass, if and when that ever comes by, we've made plans. Years ago, when we did the Maize Road project, again, WAMPO stepped in and helped us with that. They changed the alignment of some of the off and on ramps and made the Maize Road, when you come south, that is now a connecting link for that. And then they made some accommodations for on and off ramps as it comes through. There's 3 miles through Maize that it'll come through. There'll be on and off ramps at Maize Road and at 119th Street. So if and when, I think that'll be somebody else's watch, not mine. But at some point, hopefully that'll become a reality. Some of the other projects we're working on is the item that you see there is one of our gateway projects that the council is currently looking at, and that's still under discussion. We want to upgrade a lot of the design features. I'd like to tell you I came up with that. I obviously didn't, but it certainly looks nice. I appreciate the people that did. The amphitheater, this is something that has been our previous mayor, who passed away unexpectedly a couple of years ago, had this vision in his mind, and our current mayor, Donna, and the council have carried on that vision. And so we're in the process of getting the amphitheater, which will be in our park. It will also tie into the Academy Street project that you saw a little bit earlier in the presentation. And that's just another picture of the master plan of what it will look like. It also will tie in with the schools. This particular amphitheater is surrounded by campuses of the school. And of course, the school will be one of the main users of the amphitheater. So some of the other things, of course, with growth and everything that you have to continue to work on is last year we completed doubling the size of our wastewater plant. And we're still operating under the same permit, but if and when we need to increase that, we will have the opportunity to go to the state and get that improved. And we're making the second phase of that operation. Basically what it amounts to is adding some power and things of that nature to make it work. We're also, because of the growth and development, it's now starting to take place over on Tyler Road. 53rd, we'll be putting a new water line in. The council's already approved that, and they're in the process, and that'll be in sometime this year. It'll go 53rd over to Tyler Road, south and north on Tyler Road. And then, of course, we're in the process of upgrading. We had a water system study, and we're going to need in the future additional water towers, perhaps some water wells and things of that nature. So we're working in that process. So as far as growth patterns and transportation things, I'm beginning my 21st year up here, and we've always been busy. But I can honestly say we've never been as busy as we are now. And from talking to some of our colleagues in the other communities, they too are very busy. And I think that's a great sign for our community. And we know that we are a part of the whole, and we believe in the regionalism aspect of it. And I think everyone is doing a good job in cooperating on that. So that finishes my notes that Jolene prepared for me. Miss Jolene, do you have anything you would like to add that I missed?
No, just that, for a suburban city of 5,000, our transportation needs are incredible. When you consider that 96%, Richard, we must have dry air here.
Yes, it's our complex. Yeah.
96% of our residents commute outside of our city to go to work every day. Almost 8,000 students and 1,400 employees come in and out to Maize every day for school, hundreds into our industrial park. We also have a master bike and pedestrian system that connects to the Wichita regional system, to their bike ped plans. So, it's hundreds of construction workers with all the housing boom, and we really are in a bit of a boom. So, and with that, I think, Richard, you did a great job. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for letting us do this. And Chad, thank you again for the invite.
Well, Richard and Jolene, thank you very much for the updates. What's happening in Maize is great news for the entire community. It's not in my district, but we support things that are happening and growing throughout the entire county. So we appreciate what's happening. I had the opportunity to go out when Kyoto Yushi had their ribbon cutting and participate in that. Lubrication engineers who put that together for them did a tremendous job. We are, as I said, working, trying to see how we can expand their industrial area out there. And we are looking at 135th going north out of 53rd Street. And Richard did mention the Northwest Bypass. We probably ought to get a briefing at some point for all of the TPB to see what's going on there. We've Secretary Lorenz contracted a study to see what we could do to maybe make that a barrierless toll road, and we haven't got the update on that. So I think it's probably time we try and find out where that update is and get that to all the committee members. The other thing Maize is doing is that they're a member of the K96 area committee. I know Richard serves as, I think, the president, aren't you, Richard?
Yes, sir, by default. But I am. Thank you.
So there's a lot of exciting things that are going on out in that area, and they all impact the growth of this entire region. So we sincerely appreciate it. Does anyone have any questions of either
Yes.
Jolene or Richard?
Yes. This is Donna Klassen, Mayor. I just have to say that I've been on the city council longer than Richard, and that we started in a smaller building that was smaller than a one-room schoolhouse. And with visionary leadership and good council members, we have grown by planning. And I am so pleased with our staff and, of course, our leadership, which is what makes us great as far as that goes. So thank you, Richard. You've done a good job.
Thank you, Donna.
Well, thank you, Mayor. We appreciate it. And thanks for Chad for inviting them to participate. I look forward to more briefings like this because our communities are doing a great job, and we need to recognize what they're doing. Any other questions? Seeing none,